Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Right.
You know what's interesting? I had a conversation. Today's Friday. This was Tuesday night.
Okay.
You know, reincarnation must be what happens after you die. I just can't see.
Because we
Right?
get second chances, right? Because it seems ridiculous that you would be made in the image of God, deeply loved, and then get one 80-ish year chance to get it right the first time, and if not, you get dropped like a bad habit.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
So God loves you so much, unless you don't do, say, or think the right thing, right? And then in which case, nah, you're done.
Right. It's
it
life
doesn't
cannot
make
be
any
the Metra.
sense.
It can't be that when the doors close, that's it. Right? I would like to think that I could be and have the uncanny intelligence of a hawk. I would like to believe that I could be a whale or a tiger.
So you want to come back as other animals. You want to have the full experience of every kind of you're tardigrade. I'm here for it. Shoot me out of a gun.
Clap for that. That was absolute.
Ooh, tree. Yeah, trees are cool.
Well, now here's where it gets interesting. The drop of ink in my glass of water that completely changed it for me was when this friend told me, maybe that's true. Maybe if one did something bad in life, then the quote unquote AT double hockey sticks for you would to be a dung beetle or a tree.
Look, man.
Or an earthworm or something.
Right.
Something that has a lifespan of a day.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a bad day though, right?
If you're a dung beetle, I could think of a better day.
Yeah.
But if you're a worm,
I mean, from whose perspective?
Yeah, right? You're a dung beetle.
You're a dung beetle. That's
You're
life.
You're
cool.
Man,
cool.
Gonna climb on some dung.
Right.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
You don't pay bills.
Yeah. You gotta pay bills.
Right?
You just roll his poo ball around.
Are we gonna?
Comments not breaking your balls.
Oh
Yeah,
my God!
right.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora.
Good morning, Aurora.
All right, we got the intro this time.
We did.
That's very exciting.
I practiced for this. I practiced for that. You are listening to and watching Jenette Splaining on Good Morning Aurora.
Hello.
And we have the squad in here. It's 8:04 a.m. We've got the J to the S.
Hi.
Hello.
That's
Can you
me.
hit the clap button for? Yeah. That's right.
And the BTP.
And we've got Bizzle, Tizzle, Pizzle.
Good
Now,
morning.
for you,
Good
it's
morning,
the loud
everybody.
one with the kid voices.
Oh, yeah,
the happy one. Yeah.
Wait, no, that's the
At some point,
I mean, that's
excited.
happy too.
That's the excited one. Wait,
Excited.
we're all very excited.
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's the weekend. It's Friday. It's almost the weekend. I still got to go to work today, but then it's fine, And then it's a first Friday weekend.
It is.
It's a big Arts in Aurora weekend. There's
also
all
Pride
kinds of
Month.
stuff. It's Pride Month,
Yeah.
which means everything's covered in rainbows and sunshine.
Oh, your cat day, so everything's covered in cat fur.
Holy cow, that's right. Good looking out.
It is Hug Your Cat Day. If you have not hugged your cat today, you should do it. You should also take a video of your cat looking really annoyed at you that you're hugging them and then post it
On
in
our
the
page.
comments
Yep.
on this show right
now.
now.
And then it's a donut something.
It's National Donut Day,
It's National
too.
Donut Day too. That's right.
So go get your donut on, hug your cat, and then go clock in at work for a little bit, be a little bit checked out.
A little bit.
Be a little bit checked out,
Yeah.
and then go have a weekend with some art and some culture and some things. And we're gonna give you some news right now.
That's right. We have news. But good morning, Aisha Saxon. Good morning, Ben Geller. And Ben says he's got to get him some Dick's Mini Donuts. Anyone know where Mr. Shindo is going to be this weekend?
Oh, that's a really good question
is a good
because he
question.
was at Art and Market like
Aurora.
throughout the non-summer months. Is the farmers market back open yet? Because
the farmers
he would be there.
market opens, I believe, next month. If anybody knows if that's
We're gonna
right.
find out when the
Yeah, we'll
farmers
find that
market opens for you all, because that's where you're gonna get your Dick's Mini Donuts.
That's right.
Because those things are money.
So we've got a lot to go over today. But first things first, before we get into our very, very, very first topic, should we hit them with some of the local stuff happening? Tell them where to go.
Hit them with some things.
Hit them with some things.
Let's hit them with some things.
I like that. Why'd you say ooh?
I found ways to change the filters so you can go like grayscale, like the video will be grayscale.
Oh, that's nice. I thought you were
man.
saying ooh because of
Uh-oh.
what she said. Hit him with some things. I like that. Hit him with some things. Let's hit him with some things. All right. If These Walls Could Talk, Custom Framing and Gallery, 32 South Stope. They're hosting the Aurora Art League featuring work from 18 member artists. Aurora Regional Fire Museum, 53 North Broadway, will present art of a department and an exhibit showcasing the art of firefighters and of firefighting. Naponski Gallery at Crystal House. Elias, what up? 59 South LaSalle Street will feature resident artist Chaz Naponski. The Cottonseed Creative Exchange, 8 North Broadway, will have work from artist Devin the Artist, what up? DZ Halasi Diwali, what up? And Thalo Halo, triple word up. Wickwood House, 14 West Downer Place, Suite 16, will feature work by artist Jamie Andre Cooper. Cool.
All
Very
shows.
cool.
Free to
Nice.
attend. Go to
Yeah.
all the things.
Free.
That's only a portion. We're gonna get to more stuff.
Yeah, we got more. We got more. We'll hit you with a couple things right now.
We'll
then we'll hit you with some
a little bit
news.
later, so stay tuned. It's like a cliffhanger, right?
Yes.
It's how we entice you
Right.
all to listen to us
That was a good
meander.
movie.
meander on. What?
Cliffhanger.
Never saw it. Have you ever noticed that every
The
time
time
you
is
mention
now
a movie?
8:08.
Have you ever noticed that every time you mention a movie, I usually look at you and say, "Never."
You never saw it. Yeah. The
That-
interesting thing about it is that you make references that are right on time with movies and music,
Yeah.
and then you've never heard.
Most of my movie references are from like Die Hard, though. So
great movie. You did see it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There's one series. Okay, there are two.
What was
series.
the main character's name?
Oh, what? John McClane.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Making
Are you
sure.
kidding me?
Just making sure.
Yeah. Like no,
Bruce
there's
Willis.
there is one there is absolutely like one like movie series where I have seen every movie and can detail the plots to you and tell you which ones suck and which ones are good, and it is Die Hard.
What was the bad guy's name?
Hans Gruber.
Ooh, very good, Jenette. Very good. That's right. Good morning, Brooke Shanley. It's the last day for teachers. School is out.
Oh, you guys, I'm so happy
Yeah,
for you.
yes,
doing
teachers.
all the things.
Shouts out wherever you teach at. Waldo, Cowherd, Bardwell, West Aurora, East Aurora, Matea, Wabanzi Valley, 203, 204, 308, Bednarsik, what up? And Oswego, Thompson, what up? Plank, what's good? Wherever you're at, you're a
Everybody.
teacher. Shouts out to
Everybody.
all of you.
That's right. Catholic
All of you.
schools, private schools,
That's
like
right. Royal
public
Christian,
schools, all
Marmion,
the schools.
All of it.
Have a summer. Summer is great. You deserve it. After this year, you deserve it. And I hope you never have to look at a Zoom screen again.
Right. Seriously. The only screen you should be looking at
Well, is the one right
is
now
Good
if
Morning
you're
Aurora.
watching
Yeah.
us live. But like after, you could just listen too and then
Right.
go about your day.
All right. So Jenette, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to make sure I got this right. The city of Aurora was looking at revamping how the advisory boards and commissions
Oh my God.
operate. Was that?
They are.
Is
There's
that
a
what
story about this
Oh, God.
in the Beacon. Shout outs to the Beacon for
Shout out.
going to things, meetings, and whatnot, and letting us know what's happening. The city is considering doing revamping how it's doing its boards and commissions. So there are like 40-ish more of, there's like a lot of commissions. I was trying to go through them all this morning to give us more context for this discussion. And I think I only got down to like the E's and F's because they're all in alphabetical order. Like it's like a lot. It's like a lot of commissions.
Amazing how the only thing that does work efficiently is the alphabetizing system, so that if you are looking for something, you got to scroll.
You can search.
Yeah,
You can search, but I was like trying to go through, like, see all of them. So I have no idea what's at the end of the alphabet on our commissions. But like, I don't know if there's a zoo commission. I'm not sure. I don't think there is. But that would be the commission.
That would
I'd be
be.
like, well, I want to hang out with the furry animals.
But we don't have a zoo.
with the wolves. Yeah, we do.
Phillips Park Zoo.
The Phillips
yeah,
Park
we do.
Zoo.
We do.
Yeah, great zoo for like
Yeah.
being, a little like it's a park zoo. But
We
it's
got
like,
eagles.
they got alligators. The alligators love to play with pumpkins, by the way.
They do.
They get pumpkins to play with. So yeah, we've got like 40. That's our animal thing for the day. The cat hugging the cats,
Right.
and if you go in the fall to the zoo, you can sometimes see the alligators playing with pumpkins.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we have these 40 some odd boards and commissions, and they are supposed to. They have boards and commissions have a lot of functions. I've been on every side of boards and commissions at this point. I've been on a commission or a council, a board. It was the Aurora Neighborhood Council, now basically defunct. Hasn't met in like 4 or 5 years. Probably.
Were you excited or were you bored?
Well, I was on a board.
Y'all got it? Did y'all get that?
But
Did I?
good dad joke. Good job.
Oh,
Good one.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So, but actually, that commission was a little bit boring, right? Because it was one of those advisory commissions that doesn't get to actually like do a lot. There was a commission that was sort of designed out of this neighborhood planning initiative, and then when the money sort of dried up for that planning commission initiative, and it all kind of slowed down the work of the planning or of the neighborhood council or whatever didn't really exist, and so it just kind of became a place for people to come and whine about the problems going on in their neighborhood, but without any sort of like solutions
follow
or
through,
action or anything that might really like kind of get done. Like it was a good opportunity for people who are really involved in their neighborhoods to get to talk to staff members on a regular basis, but but was it a great use of staff time? Or even the residents' time? Like, that debatable, right?
The typical idea behind the boards or commissions, though, is that it's like the first step for people to get into like local government, right?
Yes.
It is that first kind of.
So that actually is a really good. So there are lots of different functions for these boards and commissions. So maybe we should start there, right? Because the question of whether or not a board or a commission is useful to a community, like to all the people in a community, it starts with purpose, right? So some of these have very specific purposes. So for example, the Planning and Zoning Commission, every community has a Planning and Zoning Commission. And what they do is, a developer comes in, they say, I want to build a thing, and they present all their plans to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And that's all they do is they kind of look at these plans that the staff brings forward and they say, we like this or we don't like this. Oh, this development looks like a high quality development that we want in town, or no, it really doesn't. You need more landscaping over here. What about parking? Like that kind of thing, right? That's what they do. And then they make their recommendations and they send them to the city council, and then the city council votes yay or nay on them, right? So that's a very useful thing because it relieves the city council of having to get really into the nitty gritty over all of these things when a lot of them are fine. And it also allows people who actually know, have a broader depth of knowledge about planning and zoning issues and building codes and things like that to be able to weigh in. So this is a very useful commission, and a lot of times people who start on the Planning and Zoning Commission then end up getting a lot more active like in the community, right? Because they kind of see everything going on, they get to know all the issues, like that's a real good standard one. Other boards and commissions, so that's one that exists sort of by ordinance. It has to be there. It's part of this process. Other boards and commissions exist merely to advise staff. So we have an advisory committee on disabilities, which met like once during the pandemic. So I kind of went through some of these boards today.
Which one met once during the pandemic?
The advisory committee on disabilities met once. So, and there's many, and I think that it can be very indicative of how much value these committees are currently providing. Not how much they could provide, but how much they are currently providing.
Right.
To ask, did y'all meet in a year and a half or not? Right? Because Zoom was a thing. That was that was legally an option. Like some of these boards and committees did meet throughout the, like Planning and Zoning Commission absolutely met during. But the African American Heritage Committee, the Airport Committee, and again, you're seeing that I'm going through here alphabetically because that is the Aurora Fox Walk Overlay Committee has not met since 2018. The Aurora Youth Council did not meet during the pandemic. The Bike Ped Committee, which needs to hear my impassioned plea to plow the Fox River Trail, right, which I have been on since the winter. They have not met during the committee or during the pandemic. The Education Commission has not met at all during the pandemic, which is interesting because that's actually that's a newer one.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
because
right.
I saw. Well,
where
what I saw.
Where did you get? Where are these listings of these committees from?
That's a great question.
That
Bizzle, tizzle,
is
pizzle.
a great question, BTP. So if you are interested in learning more about the 40-odd boards and commissions in the city of Aurora, you're going to go to aurora-isle.org and click on the agenda.
I'm going to put the link to this
we'll put
article, though, in the chat.
I want to create my own committee and just like post it up there. I'm just going to make like a bunch of committees.
What would you name your committee?
I don't know. It'll just be like a random collection of bureaucratic words, like the Association for Public Accountability.
There you go.
The Neighbors for Beautiful Streets Committee.
You know what though? Like your street always can be more beautiful. So yeah, if you're gonna go under the city services tab on the website, and then you're going to go under the boards and commissions listing, and they're listed there from A to E or from F to Z, and that gives you the descriptions of all the boards and commissions. But if you just click on agendas and minutes, that'll take you to and then use the little drop downs.
The advisory
I'm teaching
board
you all
for advice and advisory.
Yeah, there you go. Then
make sure that you got ink in your pen.
That's right. That's
$85,000 a year.
Oh my God.
Man.
Right.
God, I wish I was in government. All right, anyway, the time is 8:19.
It is not as glamorous as you think.
Sarah Fonseca, good morning. Greg Ellsbury, good morning, dear friend and sir. So I want to read just briefly from the actual article, speaking on what you're talking about. So according to Marissa Spencer, the Assistant Corporation Counsel writing the amendment, quote, there are quite a few boards and commissions. It's been difficult for staff to keep on top of them. Aldermen on the council's Rules, Administration, and Procedures Committee heard the first set of changes. They voted 5-0 to recommend the changes to the full council. According to Alderman Ed Bugg, chairman of the RAP committee, and RAP is not, look, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, that.
No.
You rap a lot better than I do, for the record, as we've established on this show many times.
Government. No. Ed Bugg says, quote, one of the good things to come out of COVID was we got a chance to take a deep breath and look at some big issues. This is really a good chance for us to look at the boards and commissions and really make them better and have more resident participation, end quote.
All right, so here's what here's my expert opinion, and this is one of the few times where I really do have an expert opinion on this thing, because Again, I've been on the boards.
It's called Jenette splaining,
I've
not
watched
Jenette expert
the
opinions.
boards. I've liaised as a staff member to boards, right? And if you want to make the boards and commissions better, you will get rid of at least half of them, right? Like you will get rid of all the ones that are not actually doing a thing.
Like what?
Like, any of the ones that haven't met since, 2017, for example, right? Like,
Well said.
these will all just cease to exist. Your poor, your staff members will no longer have to spend any amount of time like developing an agenda that says that this meeting is canceled and sending it out to all the people who are on the board to let them know that it's canceled and then posting it onto the website and all of this stuff, right? Like it's really stupid and small, but it takes time and is obnoxious. And you will craft boards and commissions that actually have things to do, right? Like so advisory commissions can be useful, but probably they don't need to meet every month. Like probably they can meet on a quarterly basis or something like that and still advise from time to time.
You know what's funny that we're talking about this, and I just think about the education committee, right? They didn't meet since 2017, and I'm thinking right now, like,
well, they didn't. They've met. They're actually a newer commission. They haven't met since like the throughout the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Right,
okay.
which is because the youth committee, the education committee, these are kind of newer ones. The current administration, cares a lot about like youth services issues, cares a lot about education issues as part of the platform, right? But we've got these committees, and unless you're doing a thing. Right? Sometimes these committees sort of fall apart.
Because I've seen Simon Rodriguez, friend of the show, shouts out. He's been doing a lot of stuff, for the youth. So it's like, even though a full committee may not be doing something, certain individuals still are.
Sure, totally.
All right. Victoria Hyla Maldonado, good morning. What's up?
So the other thing that I would just add to this discussion, right, is that, the more that committees are tasked with actually creating things, doing things, like the more value that everybody gets out of them, right? So rather than just going and sitting and complaining about like, well, this is an issue, like, yeah, we know this is an issue, right? Committees that actually like do stuff, if they're producing events or, like the Public Art Commission, I actually didn't get that far all the way down in the list, but right, they usually, these are the Public Art Commission or a lot of the cultural boards and stuff like that. A lot of what they do, they're different kinds of committees, right? They're not like this process-oriented committee like the planning and zoning, but you still want a lot of people on them because what they do is bring a ton of volunteer hours, right? These are the different kinds of boards and commissions. These are the ones that are like, well, we want to throw Kwanzaa, or we want to do a new art exhibit, or we want to fundraise for this thing, right? And that, like, those commissions tend to have people who like that really build up leadership opportunities, and build things for the community.
Speaking of building leadership opportunities and things for the community.
Ooh.
Norma Peterson says, let's make our own GAMS committee. Hit Monarch for that. That is
our GAMS committee?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell us what GAMS stands for? Or is this just a reference I don't get?
Oh, my.
Oh, no.
Are you even American?
What?
What in the world?
What?
GAMS?
What?
GAMS.
Great American Morning Show.
Oh, yeah, that's us.
The GAMS committee. I like that, Norma. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, Lord, it's early. I'm going to just drink more of this coffee.
It's all right. So you know what? That happens sometimes. Sometimes I mix up my words. Sometimes Jenette forgets the splain part. Sometimes Bizzle Pizzle claps instead of Monarch. But you know what?
Look, I cannot be on I'm just going to.
Everybody, wherever you're at listening right now, let's all take a sip.
Pick up your coffee. Put it to your mouth.
Community sip.
All
BTP
right.
is drinking.
Good. We're back. We're on.
Bizzle, what is that?
These are zero sugar monsters.
Oh.
10 calories a can.
10 calories.
10 calories a can, but still all the chemicals.
Yeah. Can't get.
It's
arsenic is in there. Is that the grape flavor? Is that what
pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5, B12, B6, B3.
It's got your B complex in there. All right. Very good.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Tracy Duran says, good morning and happy Friday to all. Good morning to you too, Tracy Duran.
No, they put the B complex that goes in the multivitamins that you buy that are supposed to give you energy. Yeah, they give you like just a.
We're also eating delectable cherries today on the show.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
Primavera cherries.
You gonna tie the stem into a knot with your tongue now?
I am not. At least not in front of y'all. All right. So let's move on.
That's for good night, Aurora.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. Like, man, there's a guy. He can just do things with his tongue, man. Okay. Now I saw something else, and I spoke about this earlier during the week. And we talked about it. Got a little bit of input from the crowd. You know, I was mentioning I saw a meme. It's gone viral. The drive-through window of a Hardee's. There's a sign. It's like, we're open, but we're closed because employees don't want to come back to work.
They don't want to come to work.
And I think it was a state rep from like down south Illinois. Somebody said, this is why you don't give people unemployment benefits or extended unemployment benefits, right?
Right.
Now, my thing is this. Because I've, been in charge of a lot of young people in my life in various jobs. If I was their manager or owner of this franchise and we had to shut down because of COVID way back, right? And it's a year later. I'm calling up my employees, my 17, 18-year-old kids, see them come. And they tell me that sir, I'm in school now. Oh, you know what? I'm working for ComEd now. If my fry guy tells me now that he's in an internship program with ITT Tech.
Well, maybe not ITT Tech because they turned out to be really predatory. But they did. Yes. Yeah, but like, they did. Maybe IIT. Right?
If I was working for the city of Skokie, hey, sir, I got a better job. Word up. I'm glad to hear that. Some people aren't glad to hear that, though. Why is that? Why are some Chicago restaurants? So that's our next topic.
So, we're going to talk about why people really aren't going back to work and what we kind of hope to see in this new explosion of the post-COVID era of people doing things that are more interesting than dealing with angry customers for $8 an hour.
Right.
So,
right, with no health care.
With no health care, right? Because they work 29 hours a week because that's what they are scheduled for because otherwise they have to be provided health care, right?
It's strange that bootstraps and pulling oneself up does not apply to...
all that, right? So, we're moving into this new era. Wherein we're like every place has a hiring sign out, right? Like if you don't pay attention to these things, I recently had to drive back from to and from Ohio. So on the interstate, it's all like fast food places and gas stations. Every single one of them was hiring.
Mix, a curious mix, petroleum and barbecue sauce.
Well, and showers because like the truck stops, right? Like truck stop showering is just the concept creeps me out. I'm really glad that guys who are driving cross country get the opportunity to take a shower. I really want that for them, but I'm just weirded out.
One of these days I'm gonna tell y'all my truck stop story.
Oh no.
It doesn't involve a shower though. It's not
I'm
just
weirded out that you can like shower and also get donuts in the same spot. I don't know. Anyway, but every single one of them was not only hiring but offering like sign-on bonuses and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's because they're what the lawmakers have said is to some degree accurate. There is a supply and demand issue going on here, right? Like people do have this extra money from unemployment and they're choosing to maybe not go back and take that $8 an hour job. But what we are all like as a result of that, because they've got a little bit of extra breathing room, right? And they thought, maybe it's not worth my time to get paid so little, get yelled at, have to wear you have to either wear the mask all day in front of the fryer or get yelled at by people because we're asking them to wear masks, right?
Right. Or have some patriot come in and call you an enemy because you're wearing
a mask, right? Like, look, we're grace all around for the mask. There's no rules right now. We're all just trying to be cool. So just be cool.
Good morning, Josue.
But there's this other element that's happening too that's sort of getting ignored in this conversation, which is it's not people wanting to go back to work, it's people doing other things, right? So there have been a few studies out now that are slowly starting to emerge now that we have more economic data about how businesses, like the rate of small business registrations is exploding right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I have a friend who just started just registered his business a couple of weeks ago, and it's because people are looking at the landscape of the new work landscape, and they're like, look, the pay was crappy. The conditions were crappy, especially if you had to if you were in one of those businesses, like retail is real big on this, where they do this on-call scheduling where you're not actually working, but you have to be available to work, which means that you can't go do other things, but you're also not getting paid. Right. So that's like a hot mess. And there's some states have started to clamp down on that because that's not cool. And so you're under these terrible working conditions for no money, and you're not getting insurance. And I think people said, if I'm not getting insurance anyway, right? Or if I'm not getting paid anyway, what if I just did my own thing and figured out how to make my own money?
You can go your own way.
Oh my God.
Go your own way.
That's right.
Put the name of that song in the group in the chat, please, for all of you great listeners out there. Now, hold on. Hold that thought, JS.
Look, a reference, though, I got.
We got some breaking news.
Ooh, we got breaking news.
Bizzle, tizzle, pizzle. Can we get a little...
The breaking news.
How do I know?
Oh, there it is. We're going to label those buttons at some point.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Breaking news.
June 9th, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Aurora Regional Fire Museum. There is a great barbecue fundraiser taking place. Now, that's on Wednesday. Tickets are $15, and it'll be a drive-through fundraiser. Our dear friend of the show, Tracy Duran, has already put the link for that in the chat. I want all of you to take part, if you can. We're not like a life coach here, but, if you can take part in that, please do, because the Aurora Regional Fire Museum is a great institution. Thank you very much, Tracy.
You want, right?
You can go your own way.
You can go your own way.
You can. So, you're right. Now...
Yeah, so, I think what we're seeing is not... we're seeing a transformation that is not subtle of the worker-employer relationship and of the economy as a whole, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to try and make a go of it if they're, if they're getting terrible pay and don't want to go back to work for $8 an hour or whatever. Some people are going to make a go of it and try to be like Instagram influencers. Day. That may or may not pan out for them, but and so you're going to see a lot of people try these things and fail and then end up going back into the workforce, and that's fine, right? This is entrepreneurship is all about failing up, right?
Exactly.
You try a thing that didn't work, you learn a thing, and you try a new thing, right?
A wise man once said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth."
That's right.
So,
P.S. If you don't want to fail at your next entrepreneurial endeavor, may I suggest the Small Business Development Center at Waubonsee Community College, one of the fine supporters of this show.
Yes.
At the Small Business Development Center at Waubonsee Community College, you can learn all kinds of important tools for making your business succeed.
You can.
So that you don't become an Instagram influencer that makes no money and then have to go back to working at Hardee's. You can do something with a business model that actually works.
I thought you were a model. Now you're back here at the...
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Modeling the Hardee's, the little hat thing. It's like a visor. Right.
It is a hat.
So shout out to the Small Business Development Center. They've got workshops. They've got one-on-one mentoring. So
cost workshops.
If you are one of these people who has a business idea right now and you want to see where you can take that and you've got a few months left on your unemployment, go talk to them now and get in on that free
And not
stuff.
Only that, if you are a Latino or Latina,
Latinx.
They
want to go
have
non-gendered.
Latinx category. They also have special workshops and outreach designed for you as well. All language barriers can be assuaged.
That's right.
That's the word of the day, assuaged. The time is 8:35. Hold on, let me read this real quick quote by Michael Roper, the owner of Hopleaf. And this kind of embodies the spirit. He says he employs 25 fewer employees than when the pandemic struck and needs, quote, 12 to 15 more employees to make it possible to serve our full menu. Instead, he's had to pare back his menu and hours. But he doesn't blame the workers who haven't returned. Hours are late. There's sharp knives and boiling hot oil and slippery floors. I saw one of our old cooks stocking produce at a grocery store. He doesn't want to come back. He's making the same money and done with work at 9 every night instead of midnight or 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Word up.
So this is going to be a real challenge too for the small businesses who do care about their employees and do want to take care of them, and also, need to stay in business, right? So we kind of slam a lot and talk a lot about, like the sort of more exploitative business owners, right, that just create terrible working conditions and then are shocked that their people don't want to come back. I think that...
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, but I think that there's this other side of it too, right? That's the small business owner that does want to try and figure out something better for their employees. And shouts out to them, because they are in a really difficult spot right now, especially now that the really big guys like Amazon is starting everybody at what, 12 or $15 an hour or something. Yeah, $15 an hour to sling boxes, and that's an awful job. But let me tell you, a brother had no job. The pandemic took my job. And I remember, Amazon was hiring. I made a vow to myself when I used to work at, I worked at Ecolabs a long time ago. Uh-huh.
I made a vow to myself. I will die before I go back to some industrial warehouse. Shouts out to all the Amazon. I'm not hating. I will.
Does Amazon feel like working at the Amazon distribution center kind of feel like our generation's the coal mines?
No, it is.
Right?
That's exactly what it is.
Right?
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, they do provide all the benefits up front. I'm not saying it's I'm not saying it's a great, it has issues, but they do provide benefits on day one.
On day one, they do. You're also part of the. There is a. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jenette.
No.
There is a. I can't think of the name of it, but there is a small program where if you pay a couple of bucks out of your check for stock program. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you can get stock options and stuff like that.
Something like that.
What's fascinating about the Amazon thing, right, is that their original business model involves undercutting small stores by making shipping free and making everything really easy to get to, right? So they're undercutting on the pricing side, and now they're able to overcut, if that's a word, that's not a word, on the labor side, right? Mm-hmm. So now, not for small businesses, not only can they not compete with Amazon on pricing, for goods, but they also now can't compete on salaries to keep employees. So it's if you're not it's a monster.
It is, but here's the thing. To BTP's point, and to your point as well. So it is the new coal mine, right?
Yeah.
Amazon and all of that is the new. It's the best paying job for anybody. It's the quickest one to get. You're guaranteed to get hired.
It really is. And the mines used to have the stores too, right? So your whole family would buy from the store that's owned by the same company.
Your 12-year-old works in the mine.
Right.
He gets his clothes and food from the mine shop.
Store. Yeah. Oh my God.
And 20 years later, you got emphysema. Anyway, back to what BTP was saying. Here's the thing. That's all true. My thing, just for me personally as an individual, is the environment. It is a soul-sucking environment. The environment is just not. Well, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Now, I never worked for Amazon. I'm talking from the experience of working at Ecolabs, but the environment was just absolutely oppressive.
I'm sure for someone like you, and I know for me as well, it's you have to work with people. There, you're kind of just doing your own thing. You maybe conversate with your coworkers every so often, but it's definitely a monotonous, just clock in, put the labor in, barely talk to anybody, and then go home job. It's not
Exactly. It's like Fred Flintstone. Remember the Flintstones? Mm-hmm. He came, he saw, he left. He just clocked in, worked for Mr. Slate, and that was it. Nobody knew Mr. Slate's name until I just said it too. So I clap for me.
That is true.
Because nobody knew.
That is true.
Nobody knew who
I just remember the dino that he clocks in.
What was Dino's name? I don't know either.
Okay.
Tracy Duran tells us that it bugs me when some people say that the problem is giving people too much money for unemployment. The problem isn't with people wanting to keep the unemployment benefits. It's the companies that aren't willing to update their wages to actual living wages, but they keep giving their higher ups insane bonuses. It's been too normalized for too long, and these companies need to take a look at themselves and how they treat their employees. That is very true, because when the bailouts happened in 2000, that first round, was that 17, 16? The executives of these companies that were coming to get money were flying in private jets. Now, if that's not callous, I don't know what is.
Yeah, like back in the '07 crash, all the banks, the 778, right? Like the banks, samesies, and the automakers and all of that. Yeah. So the the best that I can say is that humans thrive on relationship, and for the past like 100 some odd years, we've had a model of a labor model that has reduced humans down to cogs and machines. And now that people kind of broke away from that, got a break from that for a little bit, I think people are just looking, and they're looking for other opportunities to do things that matter to them, and they're looking for opportunities to connect with other people in a real way. I think the trend of like people starting businesses is actually going to continue, right? Because even if you're not in a position to do it now, you got a piece of what it was like to be on your own for a little bit.
Right.
You're like, all right, maybe I got to taste of that, like,
right? Because the worst thing I could even imagine right now is sitting behind some desk, like, fuck.
I mean, my desk is fine. It's a nice.
We got a desk right here.
We all got desks. We're sitting behind desks right now.
Never mind.
The difference is that they're desks that we're doing the thing that we want to be doing, right? Which is like hanging out with each other, giving the people the news. We don't got lumber go over
our shoulder.
So maybe we should give some people some more news. What do we got? Or some more. Maybe some more activities happening over the weekend.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
we should. Let's do that.
Well, so I want to shout out the show that is happening at 1 East Benton this weekend. It is. I'm pulling it up. Right now, it's Visio Arts is doing a celebration of women in the arts with an insane lineup, including shout out to Jen Ingram, fan of the show.
Ingram, what up?
Susan Marimano will be there. Patty Vandersand will be there. So just a whole. There's a huge long list. That is happening during First Fridays, 5 to 9 tonight, and during the Fox River Arts Ramble, June 5th. So, which is tomorrow. So it's a whole thing, you guys.
That's right. Also, there's Aurora Museum's Week Tote Bag. The Aurora Regional Fire Museum at Broadway. Buy a museum week tote bag for $10. Play along with goodies in a scavenger hunt inside, and chalk the mall at Water Street Mall between Downer Place and Galena Boulevard. That's tonight. Bring your own chalk and draw on the concrete to create chalk art. Wow.
Yay. That makes me happy.
Super yay.
Yeah.
All right. So what is next? Shop locally. You're right, Josue. Groom locally, shop locally. I've been saying it for years. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah, because that is one of the things that you can really do to support this explosion of new businesses and people getting to do the things that they are meant to do out in the world, right? Is to go and support this, maybe even if it is a few more bucks, right? Because they're paying their people decent wages and because they've got more overhead, right? Go out and support.
Speaking of which, if you are listening to this show, chances are your customers are too.
That's true.
Promoting your business on Good Morning Aurora is easier than Facebook, cheaper than print advertising, and our hyper-local audience loves to support the local businesses that they hear about in the show. Get started today at goodmorningaurora.com/advertise or send an email to goodmorningaurora@gmail.com. And Victoria Maldonado, I concur with your recent statement. Yes, the desk is fine if you're doing what you want for you.
It's true. I actually really love my desk at home. Like I've got a really nice big one, and I am there for like 10 hours a day. So that's pretty. It's not like a good desk is important. You got to give yourself that space.
You got to.
You got the good view of the birds when they're.
I do.
When they're tripping,
I have.
and
yes. So the cat.
Yuki comes to hang out with you.
Yeah. So the cat and I just end up spending a lot of time staring at the birds in the winter because I fill up the bird feeder. Yeah. All
right. The time is 8:45 a.m. Now, there was something else that I saw. Um, there were. Oh yeah, I'll do that. I just saw an email. My bad, you guys.
Oh no.
So there were. Did you know that? I want to make sure people know. Did you know that? But the police were doing background checks on people who wanted to come up and speak for a public comment. Did you know that?
No. So here are the limits of Jenette explaining. I cannot explain this one. I cannot explain why it would make any like amount of sense to implement a system in which the folks who sign up to speak and to offer public comment, which, by the way, there already are not enough people most of the time speaking at public meetings, right? That's we're talking about boards and commissions and wanting more people to get involved, right? I cannot fathom why it would make sense to background check the people who are coming to speak at public meetings. Right? That is some malarkey. So here, here's what was happening, right? In the city of Chicago.
Right. This is about the Chicago Police Department.
Yes. So this is not here. I mean, we're never that far from Chicago, right? But
one could speculate.
We're not going to speculate. We're not doing that on this show, but we are saying here's what's happening.
This is Jenette explaining, not Jenette
speculating.
It doesn't flow good.
So this week, Illinois lawmakers approved a bill that makes it illegal for police to access one commonly used law enforcement database to perform criminal background checks on citizens who sign up to speak at public meetings. So it turns out that in Chicago, people were coming to speak at city meetings, particularly the police commission. And the police commission, in response, was, because usually when you go to a public meeting, you write down like on a little slip of paper, like your name and your address or whatever, so they can, for good reasons,
right?
So that they can follow up with you, right? Like if you present a question to the board, like, and it's not a thing that they can answer on the spot. Usually they'll call or email you or something like that, right? But you'd put down your name and some information, and then the cops were running this through Leads, which is their like one of their background check systems. Which is not great because they're like trying to pull up things like, is there a warrant out for your arrest? So you might go to a meeting and find out that, and then like end up arrested, right? So which doesn't really promote a lot of goodwill citizenship of like, hey, I have a comment. I would like to participate in, and then I get arrested, right? For things. Because funny thing about warrants, you never know that they're out for you until like you get pulled over for like your sticker being expired, right?
Right.
So, I mean, sometimes sometimes you've got like probably sometimes
you duck them.
Sometimes you got like a real good suspicion that maybe maybe someone's looking for me.
Right.
But sometimes you don't, right? Yeah. And it could be for something like real weird and you're like, what now?
Sometimes you just have your beer at home because, who'd want to get stopped after meeting with some friends and, a $7 beer, now it's $380.
Well, and you should never drink and then like plan on driving home anyway. Take an Uber because then it's your Uber driver getting the warrant served on them.
Right. That would be crazy, right? If your Uber driver had a warrant and then you get popped. So you're going,
stars.
Man.
0 stars on this drive. Did not take me home. I ended up at jail.
So here's the thing, though. Now, I want to read about some of the people that, because, one, obvious question is, okay, well, obviously they were background checking, the bad people. Right?
Obviously.
I mean, there's good guys and bad guys. But the Tribune first reported in July 2019 how Chicago police compiled profiles of citizens who signed up to address the board by searching the Leads software to determine if speakers had arrest or prison records, warrants outstanding for their arrest, or if they're registered sex offenders. Police even sometimes searched voter registration records as well as the person's profiles and comments on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. In some cases, the profiles also included photos of the speakers, either from their websites or police mugshots. So the police made their own MySpace of other people. Those subjected to the background checks included activists, a police union official, relatives of people killed in shootings by police officers, a woman who told the police board she was sexually assaulted by an officer, a religious leader, and attorneys. Mayor Lightfoot, who once headed the police board while these background checks were taking place, ordered an immediate stop to such background check.
Yeah, so the background checking activists, right, in particular is a
Yes,
little...
Josue, voter registration. That's crazy.
That's right.
Crazy.
Just digging everything up. Now, look, I'm not saying there's never any reason to like look into people.
Certainly not.
That's what cops do,
Certainly
right?
not.
I'm never going to say that I've never felt threatened by someone at public comment. I once, my very first time ever sitting at a dais, someone threatened to water their landscaping with my tyrant blood. So that was a little concerning. And I kind of look over at my police chief and like, you know, he's kind of like the public speaker guy is kind of, I'm like in between, like, I'm not like, there's no one between me and this guy. And I'm like, I'm mildly concerned about this.
I did,
right?
I did jury duty one day. And when the judge sentenced the guy to prison, and they made me the speaker of the jury, and the judge used my whole government name. He was like, Mr. Curtis, blah, blah, blah. I was like, bruh. You're going to get this dude 8 years and just gave my whole government name. The whole shit.
The whole thing. Like, here's his address.
Who's the speaker of your group? Curtis, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what?
That's everything.
He's like, I was like, we found him guilty. He's like, I sentenced you to, I was like, damn. And the dude was like right there by the door.
Yeah. See, that is concerning to me. Like,
Crazy.
look.
It's like Ernest Goes to Jail. He's in there lifting weights. Like, I'm going to get this one.
Right. But so he, I think in the public sphere, right, you're in the public sphere, but that doesn't mean that you don't have some right to privacy, just a little bit. Right. So I don't know what the balance is. This bill, though, is kind of hilarious because it prevents theoretically cops from like performing. First of all, it only is related to the leads background system, right? Is the only one that it prevents cops from actually using. There are other background check systems that they use like all the time, right? But the bill also allows police agencies to perform background checks when law enforcement has a, quote, reasonable belief of criminal conduct or a security threat. Of the meeting, right? And so that's still like pretty wide berth. Like, right. So this bill is really like, oh, that's wrong. We're just gonna say that's wrong. It doesn't really do like a lot.
Yeah,
they could have just made a resolution that's like, hey, probably don't background check people at public meetings, because that's really gonna dissuade people from coming to public meetings.
See, this is why I wish, man, because I would just, well. Never mind what I would just do.
Okay.
All right. So the time is 8:54 a.m. Now we have an interview directly after this, so we will have to start to
exciting.
wrap.
We're wrapping it up.
This up. I want to say thank you to our fans, subscribers, and listeners, and the lady who works at Long John Silver's with the short hair, and she had these big bangly earrings on. Thanks a lot for not charging me for that meal when I left my card at home. Anyway.
And also for coming into work at a job that is probably not your dream job.
Right.
But
she didn't like she was having fun, but she was a nice lady. Also, check this out. I do have some more. Can you hit the breaking news real quick, Bizzle? I love that. Community Day Picnic. Get ready. August 7th, noon to 5 p.m. in North Aurora at the park. Planting the Seed, the Second Chance Incorporated organization, is hosting this great event. Volunteers are needed. Barbers, nail techs, lash techs, grillers, and vendors. Would you like to take part in making someone's day fantastic? If you'd like to participate in a life-changing event, please call 630-486-1443, and they can work with you to make it a great day for one less fortunate.
Ooh, sounds like a glow up.
Calvin and Marilyn Wilson, husband and wife team of this local nonprofit, great people. Got the chance to interview them, and that interview will be debuting shortly.
Nice.
All right, support our show on Patreon. Check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to the show. I keep telling you. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. You can see the entire breadth, BREADTH. Breadth. Right.
That's hard to say.
See, nobody even, right.
That's
come
hard.
on,
It's
man.
a hard word to say.
It is a hard word to say. You can see the entire breadth of our catalog and who we've interviewed there as well. Also, check out the show on Spotify as well.
Maybe someday you'll get to see how the magic happens on the YouTube.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
This magic right here.
This magic moment.
Da-na-na, da-na. See, I get like your really,
That
really
was
old
good.
music references.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, other than that, please, if you're going to go out this weekend, please be safe. Please have a good time. Socially distance. Follow whatever applicable rules are going on at the location that you visit.
That's right.
Please.
Be nice,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because some people are still showing up for their jobs, right? Some people have no choice but to show up for their jobs.
Right.
And those people deserve your respect because they are bringing you tasty food and beverages, and that makes them heroes in my mind.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. Seriously.
So just be cool.
BTP, anything that we...
Are we gonna let the people know where we're gonna be at this evening if they wanna come around?
I will be... Where are you guys going to be? I will be dying this evening. I will be working...
Oh, no.
I'll be on the railroad.
Oh, no.
All the live long day.
All right.
I might be at McCarty Mills' house. They're doing a MF Doom and DMX tribute.
That's right, tonight.
Ooh.
From
Yeah, man.
hosted by McCarty Mills. I think the DJ is like DJ Prime DJ Services.
Prime DJ Services.
That's just the name of the page. I don't know if that's like his actual DJ name.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like
Yeah.
bureaucracy.
But still, like, work faster so you can get out and get in on this. I'm gonna be at Society 57, like I usually am, 6 to 9 tonight. They're doing a whole cocktail series in June. So tonight's theme is Prohibition. So that should be fun. If you haven't stopped by there for the cocktail nights, they're kind of cool because you can sort of only get them that night most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a little something.
Yeah.
Something special.
You guys go out there and have a good time. Yeah, definitely. If I do get a chance to come up for air, well, I'll just post where I'm at on the gram.
Yeah.
I'll just
follow us.
I'll just do that. Hit us up on the gram.
Hit us on the gram.
All right. This was a great one. Jenette.
Am I taking us out?
Take us out.
Okay. I just want everyone to go out, have a good time this weekend, support your local businesses, and that's it.
And support your local podcast. Be excellent to each other. Thank you, Ben.
Yes, that's right. We got to eat too,
We got to eat. We got to eat.
Yeah, so adios, Aurora.
I like